Enrico quite kindly introduced us as like experts of HPC, etc. But today we are going to come to you as fellow learners. We use Git, and we would like to share some experience that might be useful for you. So we kind of portray as mutual learning experience rather than like we teach and you have to study everything and go for exam, but it's just try to get something from us. The first part of the lesson is that we're going to have some motivation about Git, why we sort of selected this technology and why we are going to talk about it. After that, Heman would come with some the basic part of the browsing, and then we'll go for a break, and then the next part would start. So I will start with the motivation, and Heman, the material I'm following is already there in the internet.
Okay,
So
yeah. Could you point out where I can find it? So
yes, so you could. So the easiest way to find out is from if you got an email from with the shared document. There's a link in this document, but that is only for the registered participants. Otherwise, if you really get lost, you could go to CodeRefinery. And you could go for workshops and events and upcoming events here. And then CodeRefinery workshops online.
Okay.
And then I recommend that we bookmark this so we can come back to this. So this is the place where I am, and I'm only going to show things already here. I'm not going to show anything extra. But if I had to type, for example, when answering a question, that's something extra, we have to transfer it to the shared document, though, so people will not get lost.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Yes. So then let's go for the motivation part. So the motivation for using Git is to keep track of changes. So the Enrico was talking about this time machine. So this is a code time machine. When you develop code, you can keep snapshots of different stages and go back to a past stage if you need, if you keep track of this. For this, do you use Git as well, Heman? And could you briefly mention how you use it?
Yeah, actually, I mostly use the Git for writing some codes. It's like for suppose if I want to add contribute to some existing code. So I just clone the code, take the repository and add some features, maybe test it, and then like try to push it back. So this is how like I would like to contribute. Basically, it's like and sometimes if I also want to like keep track of some documents, so I also use it for keeping track of that.
Okay.
How about you? Like
yeah. So I also, when I'm developing code, instead of keeping copies of folders, for example, the code in May, code in April, code in June, some sort of my own version control system, I use Git so I can keep track, and I can also work with collaborators. So different people can work on the same code base without stepping on each other's toes, and then combine the work. So we'll talk about all those things. First thing I will show is this example repository to show this snapshot feature. So the snapshot feature is that Git, by the way, I start using version control with something called Subversion. So Git is not the only version control system that's around, but it's the most popular and most convenient and most integrated one. So that's why we are talking. And now this code is hosted on GitHub. So CodeRefinery, we are not promoting GitHub as a company. So we are showing GitHub because it's the most popular, and there's high chance that you'll interact with GitHub than any other services. In my personal life, I use more GitLab.
Okay.
But because we have hosted our own GitLab. But here we are showing this because this is the most likely interface that you will interact with. So here, Heman, this is a history of a single file here, run.py.
Okay.
And if I scroll slowly downwards to see where it was first created. So this was created in 2016 by a person called Bast. And then there is some identifier for that version. And then there are some links here. So first thing I want to mention here is that this detail about this file is in context with everything else around it. So this is not just this snapshot of that file, but a snapshot of the entire code base. The time this was, we call in Git, we call it the commit was made.
That's interesting.
And yes, so do you know why? I mean, this cryptic identifier FF48 something. Do you know why it is like not numbers like integers like 1, 2, 3? Do you see the advantage of this, or do you know why this? Because we'll be seeing this a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a unique identifier or something like that.
Yes,
It's like
that's a unique generated identifier.
Okay.
So this is also comes with the fact that Git is a distributed version control system that we'll mention a little later in this lesson, which means that if you modify the same file in the same repository, you'll get a unique identifier yourself. And if I do it, I'll get a different identifier, which makes it easier to combine things later, because Git would know unambiguously how to do the combination. And also this identifier would say that which copy was used before the identification. We call it the parent. So all this information are put together through an algorithm, and this is a generator. So it's a generated uniform identifier. And then if I click that here, I go to a page.
Where should I click?
So I clicked on the hash. So I will show you again. So here you see this identifier here.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So I by clicking it, I can get more details about that snapshot.
Okay.
So as you can see, there are 3 files. So this init file, the run py, and then there's another file which is ugly.py.
Okay.
So this is a snapshot of the 3 changes in one snapshot. And this is the first commit in Git sense, the first recorded history that this file was introduced to this repository.
Okay.
So we get that information by this hash. So this is the sort of advantage for, let's say, if I want to, if I do some change here, like in 2023, they have done some change and something broke. Let's say a test fails.
Okay.
Then what we can do is we can go to the previous version. Here it says view code at this point. So when I click that, it will not go to the code itself, but the snapshot of the repository, all the files. So if I click that, then I go to that file, the file at that point, and I could run this file and see not only the snapshot would include not only that file, but the other files as well, if there's a change, and we could run this and see whether test passes. Would that make sense? So could you explain? Do you want to explain a little bit more what I said a little bit, or?
Yeah, basically, I think you are looking at this run.py and just looking at the timestamps. Basically, it's like when it is created, when someone modified it a bit, and then when you try to like push it back, there are like some checks to be done.
Yes. So if something breaks, you can go back and test it. And then also you could take only parts of it. In the first, the example I showed that there were 3 files shared, like modified. You can take parts that were like replace the broken parts, for example.
So basically you can time travel back with the code. Okay.
Yeah. So here today we'll be working on the browser. So the web browser, all you need is a web browser and a GitHub account. But normally if you use a lot of coding, you would not do this. You not follow a workflow like this. But for example, I use the terminal for this kind of work. And most people, they use integrated development environment, VS Code and etc. But the reason that we are showing today on the browser is that on the first day, we would like everybody to get on board, even people who has never seen Git before. So we minimize the amount of things like terminal. If people are very much used to Windows environments, they might not be very familiar with the terminal. So we remove all the extra stuff that you need to know in order to understand Git. And we narrow down only on the Git concepts, and we'll talk today, you and me, all day.
Yeah.
And try to understand that concepts, and then in the next days, the concepts will be transferable. So this is an example. So this is how it would look like on a terminal. So there's a commit with a hash, the author's email, and the date, and a short log message of what has happened.
So Sabri, what is the difference between this one and the one you showed before? Like
Yes. So this is the one as we see it on the web browser on the internet. So this is we can call it the cloud, GitHub cloud. And if you can also do it on your local computer, on your terminal, you can download it on your terminal and then look at it. So we used tomorrow we'll use terms like pull, push. So this is like uploading and downloading. But in Git, when you do this pull push, the difference between upload download is that it will only download or upload the differences. It will not download, upload the entire thing back and forth. So this terminal, we have pulled it. Download it to a computer, and we can have a look at it. But you'll see the same concepts here as well. We already talked much about why we kind of need to keep track, like something is broken, what version that we were talking about. We saw that there's a timestamp, and we saw that there's a unique identifier. We can go back and check, and there's some versioning. We could unambiguously refer to something. This is the version that worked without sending a folder, for example. And then when there's especially a bug, like something is broken, you can find out where it was broken. When it was broken, what broke it, and then you could go to the point where it was last worked, and then figure out more things.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And also there is this, if you this is about, somebody wrote a thesis, but I had to give an advanced warning that, the Git works with simple text. Can you explain what simple text is?
It's maybe mostly like text files like txt or like this kind of extensions, or you can also use some LaTeX.
Yeah.
And may not be like how about docx? Does it work like docx
No.
or ppt?
Yeah. So the Git works best when what you see and what your computer sees is the same. For example, if you have a docs file, LibreOffice or Microsoft or a Google Doc or whatever, when you bold the text, for example, there's a lot of metadata behind. So the actual text, what you see and what's on the computer is very different. So even if you change one text, or if you make a text bold, it will change a lot. So it's difficult to track changes. So if you have a thesis, for example, so this means that it's not a PDF or a Word document or a kind of document format with a lot of metadata, but it's plain text. For example, the document we see here, Iman, the markdown document, this is well version. It's easy to version control this. You can version control this document.
Okay. And is
yes,
there any limit on the like how many files I can share, or
yeah, so there could be some limits in the server side, but Git, it works is it's not good. It's not for very large files. It's for like code, computer code. But if you learn Git, then you can use other technology which uses Git terminology and Git techniques to version control. for example, if you are in machine learning, for example, you might use this Hugging Face, where they have like big models. And now the latest version of the Hugging Face use something similar to Git. It's like X Git or something. So you can use the Git, add Git, all the commands we use, but with big data. So the conceptually it's same, but this Git we are talking today is focused on plain text, smaller files, larger files are okay, but for smaller plain text repositories, not for data.
Okay.
I mean, data in the sense there could be like smaller data files, that's something different. But let's say terabytes of data is not version control in this way. But for that, you have Git LFS, for example, Git large file, and then the version that the Hugging Face is using. And there are other technologies, but if you know the concepts of Git, you can also use those setups.
Okay.
And then another thing, Hemani, is that I said like collaborative version control. Let's say there is code. There is, let's say, a web interface. Here we are showing with a cartoon with we want to try out a sunglass and a hat, and we want to decide which one to use. Let's say you are implementing the sunglass part of it, and I am implementing the hat part of it. And we can independently, without stepping on each other's toe, we can do test and we can check, and then we can collaborate to see what's good. And then we can combine at the end without affecting the main line of development. So the code that works will remain and users will use it. While that's happening, we can have our own I wouldn't call it like a full copies, but because when you create a branch, you don't actually make multiple copies. You just have some pointers to this. Then you can experiment, and then at the end we can combine, or maybe we can throw away the hat and then keep the sunglass. We call this merging. So we can come together at some point to make a consensus and then combine the code.
Okay.
Yeah, we will talk more about this later. Do you have anything more to mention about this, Iman?
No, nothing much. It's like yeah.
So then we have the graph that I can show you a little bit. So how the development works. I hope the screen is good enough. If not, our colleagues, please give me a shout. So different people have made branches, and they did some development. And the arrow pointing to the black one means that they have brought in the changes to the main branch. So the main branch would have that change. So you can branch out and branch in and merge.
So this is like adding the sunglasses, or suppose.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So this will be like the green. If it is, they check the sunglass, it's good. Now the main code has that sunglass feature.
Okay.
And also the reproducibility, which means that, let's say, if you publish a paper today with a certain code that works with a certain set of data, and then you can, in the paper, you can mention that I use this version. So after the paper is published, 2 or 3 years in the future, you did some modifications and it's not the same thing. Then you don't have to worry about looking for what worked. You can point out, our paper talks about this version. Here also we have an example that shows something called git blame. So the blame is not necessarily to like blame somebody for something they
Sabrit, could you zoom in?
Yes.
I think I hope so.
Let me make it a little bigger. Yeah, would that be okay?
Yeah, this is good.
So no need to like read the fine text here, but I want to show is that each line is annotated with who did what when. So we can get help from that person, why you did that change, and we can get help from that person to get more details. So Git records all this line by line. So another thing is that Git actually it version controls like lines, not like text by text. So you could mention which line was modified by whom and when. Apart from that, you could mention like if you want to send a part of a code to somebody else, you could, I will close this additional windows. You could send a link. So this permanent link. Do you use permanent links, Iman?
Can't I send the file itself? Like,
Yes, I mean, that's a very good point. You could send the files, then you have to write a lot of text about, you have to look. I'm sending this file, and I'm referring to line 40 to 44. But
yeah.
if you send a link like this, it highlights and it shows unambiguously this is what I'm talking about. They can copy, and this code is in a way that let's say if you type this in an email, for example, it might not be aligned.
Okay.
Especially if like Python script, for example, you might not be able to make it work sometimes.
Yeah.
And also email, some email like firewalls, for example, might block code. So all
Yeah.
this could
That's
be, yeah, so all this could be avoided by this. The way to generate a link is that you go to the place where the code is, you click that, and you click this, the three dots, and
okay.
you can get a permanent link.
Okay.
If you want multiple lines, you can click this,
Yeah.
hold the shift key on the keyboard,
Okay.
and then you can get a range for a permanent link.
Nice.
Right. So typically we take snapshots of like software scripts, as we mentioned, not complicated metadata included documents. Even images, you could make versions of images, but the Git works best when the text is plain text.
Okay.
So we have some discussion here. Our learners are also welcome to contribute in the shared document. So we see that there is somebody who's trying to invent a new version control system. Create a folder with the specific date and make a copy, do some modifications, and create another folder.
Yeah.
What is the issue with this?
So I think they are
Also
also
works.
doing the time stamping, right? Here,
Yes,
like they're keeping track of the files.
yes. But let's say if they want to combine 2020 some file and 2023 some file, that will not be very obvious how to do it.
Yeah. I see.
And also, like maybe they have to uncompress it, look for the file, and there's no metadata associated with it, like line by line line by line annotation, like who did what was changed, that kind of things. And it's not easy to go and the timestamp is there, but maybe the 2024 February folder has some file that was changed on February the last day, or maybe some files on March 1st, but all these things are in the February folder.
Okay.
We don't want to keep that track in this way. You could also mention more details in the shared documents if you wish. And also, we would like to point out some issues with version control as well. You need to learn some things like Git, the things we teach you. But if you can manage the first part of CodeRefinery, I think you are more than equipped to start using Git.
Okay.
So that's something you get from this class, is that you can learn more later on as you needed. But today we'll get started.
Yeah.
Sometimes collaborators, they don't like to use version control. That personally, I have never encountered it. There was instances where some resistance, but at the end, when they see the benefits, they start using it. Even if they don't use it, we could use version control, and then, for example, for this repository that we are talking about, the collaborator could download a compressed file if they wish. But we can still use, it could be like kind of one-way contribution, but it's possible to share it if somebody don't want to use Git at all.
Okay.
So Yarno, the when I move windows, is it too fast for the streaming, or is it okay?
It seems okay for me. Like,
Okay.
let's see the document.
Then why Git, not something else? It's easy to use, as we slightly mentioned. It's very popular. You might encounter it at some point. And also, if you learn Git, you can use GitLab, Bitbucket, and GitHub interchangeably. If the code is in Git, you can transfer the Git. But the issues and other additional things might not be transferable. But if you start using any of this, it's easier to move to another platform.
Okay.
That's all I want to introduce during motivation, Heman. I'll just have a look at the shared document to see whether there's any interesting questions until you set up
let's see
your
it.
until you set up your screen and inform Yano that you're going to share it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is about in general. So yeah, the Conda environments and all, please do that after the workshop, today's workshop. So then you can be prepared. Okay, I think Yano managed to make it bigger without me making it. But please, Seman and Enrico and Yano, please inform us if we had to do something. How the changed are marked. There are some color code. Yeah, I think it's all covered. Yeah, so they ask about the size. Our collaborators have mentioned there's some size or limitations. But if you learn how to use Git, you can use the same commands to control the size. Yes.
I'm switching the size to be correct, but yeah, I cannot select which screen share is showing, so it was Heman's screen share. Now it's Sabri's.
Okay, so maybe Sabri.
Well, in any case, go ahead. And yeah, can you zoom in a bit more?
I don't see my screen on the streaming at least.
Okay. Is it now Heman only? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Heman, can you go through the things because it's already shared?
Yeah.
Question 9, for example.
Yeah, I will go through. I will just need to change a few things, but give me a second. So can you see the? Okay.
I can see the edit mode of your.
Yeah,
now I can see the
Okay.
Yeah. So the question 9, for example. So the way I did was on GitHub is maybe GitHub related, but also GitLab. There's a way to do it. Please do zoom in. Okay, the zoom in we have to fix a little bit. Sorry for that inconvenience. If the text was too small, we will fix it. I think Heman, you could start with your part already, and Yano, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
So can you see my screen or like?
I see your shared document.
Okay, it's like a. Let me stop the share and.
See it right now.
Yeah. Give me a second.
So until Hemant is set up that screen, so the next lesson would be about some more basics, and we will start with the browsing part. That also you could you only need the GitHub to do that. Yes, I can still see your shared document, Hemant.
Okay. And actually, I can't see the zoom controls.
Yes. Okay. I mean, we are currently showing the shared document.
Okay.
And nobody's currently sharing the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I find it. Let me share that.
All right.
So can you see it?
I'm switching over to your screen share.
Okay.
Does that look good?
Is it better?
Just a moment. Let's try again. And yes, now it looks good.
Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah. Just okay. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, we can. Currently, I am in this the main page of the workshop. So now I will talk about the browsing, which you can access in the day one. Okay. So basically what we are going to do today is like we are going to look at an existing repository, basically, and then we try to understand how the repository is built. And then later we try to fork the repository, which means that we are taking a copy of the repository and then try to modify and do some changes. So that's what we are going to do now. So there are basically, it's like different ways of doing it. Like for suppose either today we will mostly focus on the GitHub, but you can also use your favorite like a VS Code or command line and then try to do it. Okay. So in the day one, we will mostly focus on GitHub. In the day two and in the coming days, we will talk about the rest of the things. Okay. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to take this repository which was created for this workshop, which is a CR workshop exercises, and you can actually access this using the links here. Okay, so the first link is for the participants, and the second link is for the people, for the instructors, which is Sabri and me. So basically, what you're going to do now is like you try to open this link in a new tab, and then we will go through it. Okay.
So
So
the thing with these two links, Heman, is the difference is that the one would people see it in the camera on the during the recording.
yeah,
So we have created two links so the we can avoid showing other people's usernames. So
yeah.
when you use it, use the recipe book, not the recipe book dash recorded.
So only use this one. Okay. The first one. So now I'm going to open the link. So I'm opening the link in a new tab. So I will slightly zoom in. So yeah. So basically, it's like this is the repository, and is the font enough, Sabri? Like,
Yeah, I think it's good enough. Yes.
okay, yeah. So yeah, basically this is the repository, which is you can see the name of the repository, which is recipe book recorded, uh, and then it is under this organization CR-workshop exercises. Okay. So basically what we are going to do today is like we are going to first navigate what is there, what is here, and then we are going to like basically take a copy of this repository and do some changes. Okay. So in order to do the fork, basically there should be a fork icon. Yes. If you slightly zoom in, you can see the fork icon here.
So
And
what is a fork? Why do you need that, Heman?
Okay. Basically, it's like so this repository belongs to someone else.
Ah,
And basically, if you want to do some changes, okay, it's better to make a copy of the documents, like all the files, and then you can modify the changes in your local repository, in your local files, okay.
okay.
And yeah, basically that's what we do in while doing the forking, okay.
The
That's
fork
the
is a
purpose.
copy for yourself in the
Yeah,
cloud itself.
yeah,
So maybe you don't have access to modify these files because this is somebody else's repository. But if you are allowed to copy it, you can make a copy and do things by yourself today. Today, that's what
yes,
we're going to sort of practice on your own. Yeah.
yeah. So now if you click on this fork, then it will open this create a new fork window. Basically here it's like we write some name. So it is automatically defined, which is recipe book, recipe dash book dash recorded. Here you can write some optional. Okay, we will use it for teaching. Okay, basically something. And then when you click on this uh, I will uncheck this box, copy the main branch only, and then try to create the fork. So if you
So
press
what
this
does that
green,
mean? What happens if you clicked it?
basically it will copy all the files, like including other people's branches also. Okay. Right now we just want to copy only the main branch. Okay.
Okay,
So
yeah, but then we should check it, isn't it?
yeah, sorry. Yeah, we should check
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
But I think it's good that we copy everybody else's branches. Then they can see that branch and everything.
Yeah, because I also did some changes. So in
Okay,
case
okay.
if yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
but let's see. Okay. Either way is fine. So it will take a time. Like so, yeah. Basically, Yes. Now I forked this branch. Okay. So what you can see is like, so this, I forked from this CR workshop exercises, the one highlighted here. So this is the, we call upstream. Okay. This is where we actually forked the repository. Okay. And now if for you here, like if you see the link above, uh, it should be your user account. Okay, basically it's like a your username for the GitHub. So that is what you should be following for the next of the for the today's lectures. Okay, and so now we will go back to the main window, and then we will mostly like do some exercises. Okay, so uh, now Sabri, is this the time for should we take a break now, or
Yes.
should we do the exercise?
So what we do is, Heman, is now we break for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we can discuss the
Okay.
exercises. Because,
Yeah. So
because when we say break, we expect people to walk around a little bit and have a break, not look
yeah.
at the exercise.
Okay.
So Jano, Enrico, that we're going to have a break now. If you could share the shared document with 10 minutes break, and we'll come back in another 10 minutes according to the time zone. Are you ready, Enrico? Sorry, Jano?
All right, let's go on a break. All right, bye.
Hi. Welcome back from the break. I hope you had you just stretched your legs, and so you can hear me, right? Like all of
Yes.
you. Yeah. Okay. Great. So what we are going to do now is like this exercise. So basically, it's like you just took a copy, like a fork of the repository, which was shown above. Okay, so using this link. So now what you're going to do is like go to that link and do these exercises. Okay, so there are like 8 exercise questions, and so first you try to like look into each question, and there are some hints here and how to do that. So for suppose in the first one, you try to look at the commit history. Okay, so to look at the commit history, and basically what you're going to do is like here is a small icon. Okay, which is like can you see the icon?
Maybe
So
little,
this circle.
it may be.
So this circle, if you go to this repository, which you just forked, you should see here your username, and then on the URL, and here like when you zoom in, you can see a small circle. Okay, like a timestamp. So when you click on it, basically what you can see is like some commits made earlier. Okay, so that basically you have to go through this commit history and try to see like what has been done, and then later like you will also try to find another way of looking at it, like which is you can use this insights on this main page. Okay, and then try to see what is happening in this when you click on insights and when you click on the network within that insights. Okay, so then also try to find out when the recipe was last modified. So what you're going to see is like this is a like basically a recipe book for food, like cooking. So you are going to find like some food recipes. Okay, it's like and you try to take one recipe for suppose a salad or something, and then see like when this repository was modified, or when the
So what
file
was
was
it,
modified.
food recipe? Not like Python or C code, Iman? Do you have any idea why?
Yeah, basically it's like when you look at this Git page, like so here you can see like okay, there are some desserts, pasta, salad, side soups. So let's for suppose we look at salads. Okay, so here like there are different salads in this file. Okay, so for suppose this is Andhra salad,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
basically this is from my home place, and you can find like what this recipe is about. Okay, if you want to cook something, then you can actually look into this recipe. So basically it's like each one has different recipes in this code book. Okay, in
So,
this
one
recipe
reason
book.
that it is a code book, like not a programming language, is that we want to we just were focusing on the Git concept itself and the GitLab
Yeah.
and the GitHub and the interface. So
Mhm.
even people don't know, understand. If you are not working with Python, you still understand the concept. So that's why
Yes.
it's abstracted into a cooking recipe instead of like code. But in real life, you will be interacting with code when you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, let's go back to the exercise. So then you will also find this guacamole recipe, okay, which is under the sites. So basically you try to like look into these exercises and try to do these exercises following on the repository which you just made a copy of it, or which is forking it, okay.
Yeah, that's very
So
important that look at your copy.
yeah,
The one that says without the recorded prefix
so
version.
yeah, it should be like here is your, it should be your username, the one highlighted. Your repository will be like this one, https://github.com/ your username / recipe dashbook. And yeah, please go take a look into this one and try to do the exercises.
Yes. So now what
So
we're going to do is we're going to break now.
yeah,
I mean, break means that we will not talk, and we'll give you 25 minutes, and Yarno will share the shared document now,
yeah,
and we'll give you 25 minutes. Is that enough, Heman?
yeah. I think 25
Okay.
minutes is good, and I think they also have a local instructors, like basically at
Yeah.
each yeah
Now we expect
hosting
you to
site.
like go through this exercise and do that. And if
Yeah,
you have any questions, use the shared document to inform us, any issues do you have or any discussions do you want to participate in. And also maybe we can place a poll in the shared document to see if you are finished. Give us some notice so we don't have to wait if you're already finished. And I would recommend um, Hemant, that maybe up to 6 is enough. So 6 is the number 6.
okay.
uh,
So let
uh, yeah, sixth question go up to sixth question, and the 7 and 8 is bonus for you.
yeah,
And
okay,
we'll see within the first 25 minutes, try to go up to 6.
okay. Yep.
Okay, Arno, now we're going to share the shared document and indicate that 25 minutes of exercise time, and then we come back and Heman will explain the answers. Is that a good plan, Heman?
Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. Hi, welcome back. So I hope you guys were doing the exercises. I see that about 20 people finished the exercise. So now I will just quickly go through the solutions. Okay. So let's look at the first exercise, which is like browsing the commit history. So now I will switch the tab. So basically, if I go to the code to the main page, so for you, it is the user. Okay. So if you click on this time circle here, uh, it will then go to this page where you can see like the commits, all the commits which were made from all the people. Okay, it's like so this one is the commits which I made yesterday, and Sabri made few commits also, and then we have also some commits from the last year. Okay, and what you can see here is like each commit has a some specific like is a name, like for suppose restoring the tests, and when it is committed, and there is a unique ID, like as Sabri mentioned in the motivation. For each commit you make, you will have a one ID associated to it. Okay, so that you can easily revert back, or you can look into what has been in the commit. Okay, so if you click on that hash code, you can see this one. Okay, so these are the green ones are the changes which are made, and the minus ones are some like the previous ones. So that is about basically
So the green one,
uh,
Heman, is the
yeah,
things added, and the red is removed.
yeah,
Removed lines are red, and the green ones are added, newly added
yes,
in that commit.
yes. Okay, now let's go to the next question, which is like yeah, about the network graph. So I will again go back to the main code page. Okay, so this is the main page which you forked. And so far we looked at the commits which were changed linearly. Now, if you basically click these three dots, like basically for me, since I am zooming in, so it is here for me in this insights. If you click on this insights, you can then see all these things. So now I'm going to click this network here. And when you click on the network, what you can see is here is the history of the commits. Okay. So I will just drag it. Okay. Yeah. So here is like these are the commits which we made, Sabri and me. And the main black line is the main repository when we took the branch. And you can see like the timestamp and other things. Okay, what each commit we did. Okay, so with this you get a big overview of what has been done, like when you pulled uh, when you forked the branch, and then when you started committing it okay, back. So these are the like a big overlook uh, of the commits. Okay, so each dot is a commit. Okay, and for suppose here you are just forking that part. Next, let's look at the next question. How can you find out when a recipe was last modified? So let's go back to the repository, and let's go to the main page. So let's pick up some recipe, say for suppose salads, and let's make a mixed salad. So here, basically, it's like here is the recipe, and you can look at the history. Oh, maybe, yeah, you can look, you can click on the code. Sorry.
So the question was, how can you find it was last modified? So I see that on the top, like near the clock, it says it was modified last year.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then, okay, that is the question. So now it's like to see when is it last modified. Here again, when you open the file, you can see this again, this circle, the time circle. And if you click on this circle, which is shows you all the history of the commits of this file. Okay, so these are the commits which you can see like it was created in March 5th, and there are some fixes to this file. Okay, so that is this the third question. And now let's go back and see what is the next question. So the next question is, how many changes did the guacamole recipe receive? So you can find this guacamole recipe under sites, and then try to click on some of the commits to see what changed. Okay, let's do that. So now
I
I'm
can
going
read
back.
the I can
Yeah,
read the
sorry.
question for you, Hemant, so you can stay in the GitHub.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Okay,
So
now
the
I will go
how
back to,
many changes? Yeah.
okay. So let's look at the salads. It's in the salads, right? Guacamole.
How many changes the guacamole is? I think the side. I think it's a side.
Okay,
Yeah.
sites. And actually, if you don't know where to find it, there is a search button here, and you can use the search button.
Hmm.
Yeah, with this zooming in, I don't.
It's on the top.
Yeah,
The
yeah. So here you can. Oh, sorry. Here, go to file. Here you can look for guacamole. Okay. So let me. I think I did it fast. If you click, if you look here, you can find go to file, and basically what you can do is like you can, if you know the file name, you can type here, and you can click find the file. Okay. It only works for the file names. Okay. So here is the guacamole recipe. Okay. And then now the question
how
is
many
like
how many
how many
how many changes? Yeah.
how many changes. Okay, so now let's again look at the history using this timestamp circle. And so how many are there actually? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 changes, 5 commits. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes.
So the number 5 is which recipe includes the ingredient salt.
Salt. Okay, so now I will again go back to the main one, code. Now, since we already looked in terms of searching for the file, okay, but we can't know, we don't know whether the salt is in within the file. Okay, so what we are going to do is like we are using this search button, which you can see on the top right top right, and you can search here salt. Okay, so if you are using, yeah, and then press enter, then it will oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah,
So for the first time when you search for the files, I mean content of a file, it's indexed a little bit. So you could also
it,
search on the original repo if you want, Hemant,
yes,
the
yeah,
one.
I will do that. Yeah, so let me go there. So this is the
One was
original
lost
repo.
because we indexed it last night.
Yeah, this is the original repo. Okay, so basically now what I'm going to do is like I'm searching here. So now you can see like wherever the salt is mentioned, you can see like all the files. Okay, so for suppose it is in the salts backslash mixed.md, and then it is also in the deserts. Sorry, and then it is also in the guacamole, and in this Andhra salad, and the mushroom soup, pumpkin pipe, and then Andhra mango pickle, and vegetarian lasagna. Okay, so basically it's like if you want to search for this salt, you use this search button which was on the top. Okay,
Okay.
now
So
I will go back to the
I
repo.
can read the question, the
Yeah,
sixth one. Is that
okay,
in the guacamole recipe, find out who modified each line last and when.
okay. So let's go to the guacamole recipe, which is in the sites. So the question is who modified last?
Yes. So it's actually the the blame they're asking the to show.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So to see, you can click on the file, okay? And when you click on the file, you should see, where is this blame? Yeah, okay. I need to zoom a bit.
Yeah. So another way to do that is, Himan, is that if you go back to the file.
Yeah,
So that is what
let me go
the
back.
answer,
Yeah,
the answer for
yes, yes,
the recommended answer is that you go back to
yeah,
file and click on blame. Yes.
yes. So yeah, I went back to the file, okay, and okay, let me do it again. So here is the file. You click on this file, and then you can see here right now you are in the preview mode. So you need to now go to the blame, okay. And when you click on the blame, you can see like when the file was modified, and you can see like who added this line or who changed this line by clicking on this blame. Okay, so this is the three rectangles, like so you can, when you click on it, you can see like who has changed this. Okay, yeah.
So the question number 7 is more about, are we allowed to use it? It's talking about some license.
Okay,
So it would be in the
yeah.
repos. Do you have anything to mention about a license, Himan?
So here, yeah, it's like they basically when I clone the repo, there is a license associated to it, which is like a Creative Commons license 1.0. So it's like either you can see on the main page, like with this license, or else what is more nice is like when you click on this license, basically you can look, see all this, what are the permissions, and how can you use these permissions. Okay, so
So we
that's
talk
a
more
very,
about license later on in this course. So I'll
yeah,
no more. But this basically tells you what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed.
yeah.
So what kind of license do you use normally, Himan?
It's like a CC, Creative Commons.
Creative Commons or
Yeah,
for MIT for code. So
yeah,
GNU public license. Yeah, mostly open source copyright.
yeah. Because now if you're the funding agencies are now pushing towards the fair, like sharing the code fair. So
So it's
so
important
it's a
to have a
requirement.
license.
Yeah, it's really important.
Okay. So the last question, Iman, is that it's in the main repository.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any pull requests?
Okay, yeah.
We'll talk
So
more
now
about
I
pull
will.
later on. But the pull request in general is that what I did was, Iman, is that I did some modification and I send it upstream. Upstream is the place where I copy it. Downstream is the my local copy.
Yeah.
And I made some changes. I asked from the authors, would you
Okay.
like to incorporate it?
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, basically I'm now at the upstream, which is like where I started forking my repository. So which is like a CR workshop exercises. And then if this is the main page and you can see these icons, issues and pull requests. Now the question is about the pull request. So when you click this pull request, what you can see is like, are there any open issues? Okay. So yeah. And yeah, Sabri, you will be
So,
talking about it later, right? Like
yeah, we can just
our
talk about
yeah.
it now. So if you click on that salad recipe, so that is a new change I propose
Mhm.
to the authors. Would you like to incorporate it?
Yeah. Okay.
And if you see that the commits are there, what changed, you could also click and see what file was changed and
Yeah.
what the commits were. And then you as a author, as the owner of the repo or
Mhm.
some of the review, we call it review process, which means that you go through the code and see whether it's appropriate to be incorporated into the main line of development. And then you could do something called merge to make it combined to the main branch.
Yeah.
Here, I would also like to mention a little bit about the pull request. Before I send the request, I opened an issue, Heman. So if you click
Yeah.
on the issue,
So there is a yeah. This is what, right? One working awaiting approval. This is what you are waiting for.
yes,
But yeah. So where should I go?
issues.
Issues. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So before I send the request, I made an issue.
Uh-huh.
Just like anyone has a good salad. So somebody asking,
Yeah.
the salad. And then before I send the change or start working on it, I
Mhm.
opened an issue and said, I'm going to send a salad recipe. So
Okay.
everybody else would know that Sabri is working on something. So that we don't have to, do the same thing. So
Okay.
after that, in the next episode, we'll talk about, in the issue, it could be, we could record
Mhm.
what happened.
Okay.
And it also tells the public that somebody is working on it, so others could help or not to do the same thing in parallel.
Mhm.
And also what has Sabri done up to now.
Okay. And
that,
what is this sub issue?
that is to create another issue. So if you
Okay.
could create another issue, but that's we're not going to talk today, but you could create like a related issue.
Mhm.
Let's say if something related to this salad recipe, but somebody want to work on I don't know, maybe a topping, for example.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. Yes, so
So
those are the questions, Hemant.
Mhm.
Then now what I would do is I will share the shared document to see whether there are any interesting questions. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. So, but for everyone, you can also like, yeah, get the solutions in the main page. So if you browse down, you also can see the solutions.
Yes.
Yeah, over to
So,
Sabri. Yeah.
yeah, so Yano, I'm going to share the shared document from my screen share now. Is this my screen, Yano?
It's
So currently it's
collaborative
still
notes, I see.
Heman's screen. So currently we are showing the notes, and
Yeah.
Heman's screen is still being shared.
Can you stop?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Hemant,
I will stop share. One second. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So in this one question is that there was some configuration, for example, how to do this on Visual Studio Code and
Yeah. I stopped the share. Yeah.
yeah. So those questions, so those are needed for the rest of the day, and at the end of the day, I'll show some Git configurations. Some things you needed for later on that you could go and make sure those are working before the rest of the course. And the other thing is, same one is that some people have mentioned about GitHub. Google Drive, for example,
Yeah.
Google Docs. You could have some versions, and even in like a Microsoft ecosystem, you have the Microsoft Word and also the LibreOffice in the free version.
Yeah.
Open source versions that you have something called track changes.
Mm-hmm.
So those also have some sort of a version controlling. But for the code, it's not that convenient to combine things and do a lot of things, but there is some version control. But if you try to version control a Word document on Git, I don't recommend it. It's not going to work well.
Okay.
So then it's a plain text is the recommended one. Is there anything else, Heman, you see that here that we should mention?
Yeah, that's trying to see this. What is
My search for salt result in this repository's code being indexed right now. Yeah, so the indexing is that people who know about databases, they know that, you know, when you want to search some things, you have to get the keywords and create some sort of index. So that takes a little bit time. It will take about 2 or 3 minutes maximum, and then you can search the GitHub. So that's a normal thing.
Okay. We are. I'm ready to go to your screen share library.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready? Right.
Yep.
Yeah, good. And anything else, Iman, that we want to mention before we move on?
No, nothing. It's mostly they were asking about the license, but yeah, the helpers were answering them.
Okay. So the
Yeah.
license is important to choose, like even before you commit your first piece of code, it's better that you create a license, and in the upcoming within the same course upcoming lessons, we'll talk a little bit about licensing. So now what we do is, Iman, that I will introduce the next lesson a little bit before we go to a break, which is the longer break.
Okay.
So we have done now the browsing part and then the committing part. So what does committing means to you, Heman? And there is this interchangeable word which is used, commit and record a little bit in these lessons.
Yeah.
Do you have any comment about this?
It's like basically I create some changes and I want to like push. Basically, right now we created some salads, right? Like a guacamole salad and trying to add new salads. And now I want to push this to the upstream. So this is what I mean. I think the commit means, or I want to record these changes.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's kind of right, but the technical word for that is, we call it push.
Yeah.
So the commit in Git and the recording is interchangeably
Yes.
used. In the Git technology, if you sort of dig a little bit, I don't want to kind of go deep into technical details, but it's when we look at the terminal, you will see there's something called a .git folder which keep tracks all of these snapshots. There's a place where the snapshots are kept. So in
So it's
Git,
a timestamp.
yeah, with the timestamp and everything, and also the metadata, it's kept somewhere. Even in the cloud, there's this .git folder where it's like a database of all these changes. So the changes I kept in a way as diffs. Diff is like a difference between what was last and what was now. So it doesn't keep copies of each snapshot, but instead it keeps the difference between what the parent. So in this sense, in the browser, it's difficult to show this. So there is the Git works in a two-step process. You have to add and commit, which means that you have to suggest that you're going to add something and then make it permanent. So as soon as you suggest to Git that, you know, I want to version control this, it's actually get recorded. But in a subsequent step, it also incorporates the metadata like timestamp and everything, and then it creates a message, a log message, and it make it permanent. So in this sense, in this lesson, what we're going to talk about is how to make a change permanently recorded in a snapshot on your local copy. Then we come to what you said later on tomorrow. You make permanent in your copy, and then you send that change upstream, which is the place you copied it from, to incorporate. We call that the push. So those are the two concepts that we're going to talk about. But now we are going to talk about only on the local copy, and then how to make that permanent. Here we have a different terminology background that we are going to talk about. Repositories where all these files all together, and commit is, we know that that's a snapshot, which is the status of that the set of files with some metadata. And when you have a snapshot entire project in time, like that we also had a look, and a branch, we had a look, try different things. then you could combine them later on. And then this one, I would like to like hold on for a moment about the reference to like a sticky note, because we need some context to understand that. And then we have tags, which are like sticky notes that you stick to some place, but it doesn't move. A commit is also like that, but it moves. So in this sense, in order to understand all this, the best way, Heman, is that I can show us how to do it a little bit.
Okay.
We will not talk about the exercise now. I mean, exercise we will talk about after the lunch. But we will get some context within the next 4-5 minutes that what we need. So if you remember that the browsing lesson, you used a repository.
Yes.
Which is called the recorded version. So in that recorded version, I'm going to right click and open it in another tab.
And for the users, they go to their own. So right
Yes.
now it is only the demo, right? Like
yes. So it's
you
just
will be
I'm
showing.
going to show some concepts here. What described in the text, but I'm going to show it on the GitHub itself.
Okay.
Here you see that there are 3 forks, but don't fork from this, because this, if you fork it, people will see your username in the video. So please try to use the version without the recorded, but the same. You could do the same things. So if you see the fork here, I see that I have a fork here. And then so the idea is to add something in this, some contribution that I have to make. So in order to make the contribution, the idea is that I will create a branch, as that sunglass branch and the head branch. Then I could mention that, my name to be more explanatory, new recipe, because I'm not sure what I'm going to suggest yet.
Okay.
Then when you type something, name of a branch, if it is not already there, it will suggest to create it. So if somebody asks you to create a branch, and if you are working on the web browser itself, you see that this is a recipe branch, and you also have the main branch, but now you see the branch that I created.
Okay.
So in that branch, what I could do is, if I want to, contribute something, for example, I don't know, a soup, for example.
Okay.
Like I'll go to that place,
Yeah.
and then I could, create a file. So what we do after lunch is that we will see how to, I created a branch now. So you could also, try to create now, but now we'll have a break very soon. After that, I will show how to make a contribution onto the local copy of your copy. As you can see from the top here, Himan, I'm working on my copy, the Subway recipe, not on the main, the place I copied. And then I will try to make my changes there. Now what we do is that now we'll break for the lunch now. And those things I mentioned, I will show them again.
So we will come back to this.
Come back to the lunch. So the lunch is 1 hour. Hello, welcome back. Did you have a good lunch break, Heman?
Yeah, I had a nice lunch. Okay. How about you?
Yes, I had a smaller lunch. I don't want to fall asleep while teaching. That wouldn't be nice, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So before we start, Heman, there's this question about whether the learners need to keep the solutions. So the solutions are needed if they want a certificate. So the certificate most probably be able to be converted into 1 European credit. And the details are here in this link for question 39. And you can go through them and then ask back if that's not clear enough.
Okay.
Is there anything, any other question that we need to check before we proceed, Eman?
I think this is the key question apart from this, because now since we are moving to exercise 2, so the students have to submit the exercise 2, like in order to get the 1 ECTS.
Okay.
But apart from that, nothing else is seems important.
So then we move to the next lesson, the committing. if you remember before the lunch break, I went to the community lesson and I just show you a little bit, and I went and create a fork. So the fork would be ready, just in case if it takes time. And then in this lesson, what we did was that on our local copy of the copy that we made from the forking exercise, that we were trying to contribute something from our side, right?
Yeah.
And then what we did was that I went to the recipe and make sure that it's your the recipe of the copy of the repository. That's what we call the fork that you are here. And then I clicked on this place where it says main, the branch, the branch symbol and the main. And I went there and I typed a name of a branch. So that branch was not there. So
Yeah.
GitLab said, do you want to create that? So I created that branch. Now I switch to that branch. So when you creating a branch, this will be more important during the when we go on the terminal on the Visual Studio, any other IDE as well. Just creating the branch is not enough. You have to switch to that. Otherwise, you will be creating a branch, but you will be working on the main branch. So you have to do this switching first. So
How
here
do
we
you
are
do
switched.
that? Yeah.
What was that?
How do you do that? How do you do the switching?
Yeah, switching means I went there and I selected that branch. So now I'm here. If I select main, now I'm in the main branch. Although I had created a branch for myself, I'm still in the main branch. So I had to explicitly switch to that.
Yeah.
So then I need to contribute something to the recipe. Let me see whether there's anything already available for me to paste in. So then there's another thing, that important thing about this is that there's a small check when you submit a recipe. So a check means that usually if it's a code, you have to make sure some basic tests are passed before you integrate it into the main line of development. So you have to excuse me a little bit. I'm going to show something further down the page. So I'm going to scroll down and show you that there are basic things you need. So there should be a title for the name of the recipe, and then you should have some ingredients and instructions. So these things are needed. If this is missing, the test would fail. It would say that you don't have instructions. So it has to be in the same spellings, for example. So to make sure that my first commit doesn't fail, I'm going to copy this and I'm slowly going to move up again. And then I'm going back to the other tab, which is the copy of the fork. And then I want to create like contribute something. So here I'm going to contribute a soup. So I'm going to that folder. So we have a mushroom soup already. So again, I'm making sure that I'm in the correct repository here. So not the so here it says that I have copied from the main the place that we fork from, but I have to make sure that I'm in my place. And then what I will do is that I would click on this. If you see this button, it says add file. Do you see this, Eman?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So then I would say create a file. So in the create a file place, I'm going to some recipe for the sake of like showing the Git, not to show my recipe skills. I'm going to copy something from the web. So that's a simple and creamy carrot soup, right? So get this characters correct clearly and simple and correct.
Carrot soup. Yeah.
Should I increase a little font a little bit maybe?
Yeah, I think it's better to increase.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's good. It's
yes. So then I need the ingredients. I'm going to cheat a little bit. So I'm going to copy the ingredients now.
good.
right? So they have these ingredients, and then the instructions. Instructions also I'm going to copy it here. So this is the content of my file. So I'm going to write something like tasty soup. And then you need a file name here. So the file name, I would say that this is a markdown file. So that is the document I'm going to, it could be a text file, for example. But as we discussed before, the Git, we don't version control like, complex document types like PDFs and docs and all. I'm going to call it MD to indicate that it's a markdown. When you indicate that the file type, for example, Python, C, Git actually try to interpret that file, and you can actually see the preview, how it looks like. For example, if I show you this hash here and this 2 hashes, which means a subheading and a heading, Git actually figured out, actually not Git, I mean GitHub figured out it's a heading, and it make the heading bigger like this. And then you can see the preview. So this magic happened because I named the file, it used the file extension. So then what we do is, I will go here, I'll click on this commit button. Do you see this green commit button here?
Yeah, I see.
I will do the, so the commit is to, I'm going to make that permanent. And then I see that new branch I created before the break, I created this branch. So it's going to land on this, not on the new branch. Recipe, I'll type a small message, and this will be the message on the, if you see that in the hash, there was a small like a short message, short log message. So this is what going to appear. So instead of this file name, I'm going to say carrot soup. So that is what will appear in the log message. Then I would say create, commit the changes. Do you want to discuss it? No. Let's commit again. Maybe it didn't happen properly. Commit. Maybe it's trying to navigate to a new tab, but let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try again. Okay. Now we faced an error. This was not planned, but the error was that Git actually committed when I clicked the commit button before, but due to some redirection in the browser, it didn't actually give me enough information that it has happened. So I tried to do it again, but now Git has detected a file with the same name already exists. So that's a additional help that we got from GitHub, not the Git itself, but from GitHub, that it went and detected that it's there's a file that we don't want to commit, and then it's giving me some option, what to do. So I'm going to now do a cancel here. I would have preferred that I didn't have to do it, but some technical problems, so I didn't. But you might also see that if there's some delay. Yeah. So I'm going back to the recipe book now. Now the Git will say there's unsaved changes, but GitHub said that it committed. So let's say okay. Let's see what happens. Then I will go to the soups. And then if you can see here that file I committed is not here. Could you guess why it's not here? What do you think?
Maybe because you are in a different branch.
Correct. So in the main branch, that file is not there. So it's in the new recipe branch, right? So the thing I wanted to show before the exercise is that how to create a branch and how to place a file in a specific branch. And we also saw like unexpectedly encountered error. So when I pressed the
Sabri,
yes,
I think a few people from Denmark lost the live connection.
Okay.
So maybe can we take some questions if there are any questions in the collaborative notes in the meanwhile? Okay, yeah, now they're back actually. Okay,
they're back. Okay,
yeah, they're back.
Okay, so then what we do is we'll go to the exercise now. So we are in the main lesson. page, and I'm going to the committing lesson. And then I kind of showed the branch and the commit to start with. Now you have to practice yourself how to do it. And the exercise is for 20 minutes. And what you should do is, first, make sure you're on your fork. So that I showed several times there on the top, that I'm not in the main, the place where I forked it from, or we call this upstream in technical sense. You have to be on your fork, or the copy you made.
Okay.
First, create a new branch. That also I did in a way, the clicked on the place where that branch symbol is and created one. And then you have to modify a recipe you just added. So first you need to create a new branch and add a recipe. So like I did, but then you have to modify that recipe a little bit. So first you commit it, and then you modify that file. Then you have to switch back to the main branch. By clicking on the top browser, I could go back again to the recipe.
Could you maybe repeat? I think a few people are saying like a bit fast or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So here first you have to make sure you're in the correct fork.
Okay.
Right. So the fork is this. So
Yeah.
if you see, for example, here, if I click this one, this is the upstream, the way I copied it from. You shouldn't work here. So instead, you should work on your fork, the copy you created. Okay. Then you have to go and click the main branch and create a branch from that place. Right?
Yes.
As
yes.
I created this sub recipe branch. So after that, I'm going back to the lesson. After that, you have to do as I did, contribute a recipe to your branch. And then you have to open it up again and do some modification.
Okay.
Then after modifying that, you have to come back to the main branch. So you'll have to switch again here. So first you do is that you work on this branch, create a file and commit it, open it up again and edit it, and then commit again, and then switch back to the main branch. And then modify a recipe there. So as you also show like briefly, the file I committed is not there in the main branch. It's in the branch that I created. So when you switch back to the main branch, you would not see the file you created. But so you have to modify something in the main branch. To make things easier, I would say go and modify something in the sites. For example, inside sites, you have this guacamole file. So modify that guacamole file. Here it doesn't specify which file, but it's okay. You can select whichever you want. But maybe you could, if you don't have a preference, go and modify the guacamole file, and then follow the instructions as given here from 5 onwards. Maybe at least number 7. You could come, but this will also, we will check after you arrive back. Is that clear enough, Himan, or do you want to say something?
Yeah, it's clear. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go here, go to your fork, create a branch, create a file, modify it, and then go back to the main branch, modify something in that branch, and then commit that, and then follow the instructions. If there's anything unclear, we could discuss in the notes.
Yeah, for suppose if...
Yes. So what we do is exercise until 20 minutes. So we'll give a 20 minutes exercise now, starting now. And bye for now, but we'll meet after 20 minutes to discuss the answers.
Go.
Welcome back. I see there were some questions regarding the exercise as well. So what I'll try to do is I'll keep in mind the questions, and I will try to go through the solutions and try to explain them at the same time. And when we come back, you could point me to the things I missed.
Okay, sure.
So we were in this repository, which is a fork or a copy from the CodeRefinery CR workshop exercise or recipe book branch. As you can see, to find out which branch you are in, there was a question how to find out where I am. The best way is to look here, and also the URL on the top. I'm not sure. You could see the URL as well. So in the URL, it will say GitHub, my name, and then the repository name. And then the first thing in the exercise, what we were supposed to do in the first one is to make, let me check.
Make sure you are on your same fork. Basically.
Same fork, okay. So this we make sure. Was that clear enough that to how to find out about that?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Then the second point they're asking was to create a new branch, was it?
Yes.
Yes. So there was one question as well. When the branch was created, somebody already saw some commits, and that person wondering whether somebody has modified the original the upstream version. So the upstream version would be even if it is modified, if you don't click this button here, the sync fork. So this is a sync fork, means to sync with the upstream. If you have not clicked that, whatever done upstream will not arrive to your repository. Most likely thing that might have happened is that when you wrote your name of your branch, maybe you selected one already created instead of creating your own. For example, if I go here and if I try to create a new recipe, that branch is already there, but I'm sorry. My intention is to create a new branch, but that one was already there. When I clicked, instead of creating a new branch, I switched to that branch instead. So then if I go to the soups, I will see that carrot soup. So again, I'll go back to the front, the main page of the repository, and then I'll create a new branch. So the new branch, I'll create soup 2, for example. Then it will say create branch, and when I switch to that branch, I should not see that carrot soup. But let's see. As you can see, it's only the mushroom soup. But when I'm creating the branch, if I had created it from my previous branch instead of the main branch, then my mushrooms, my carrot soup would also be here. So a branch could also be created from another branch. So it doesn't have to be from a main branch. So that one thing that might have happened during that during the exercise. So there are a few things to figure out. I think everything you've figured out is a learning experience. And what was the third question, Iman? It was to create
new commit, basically
new
modify.
Commit, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to soup 2. And then I'm going to go to the soup branch. And then if you remember that I said create a new file, I could also upload a file from my computer. And then create a file. For the sake of explanation, I'm going to just call it
Carrot soup.
Yeah, carrot soup. It's already there, so I'm going to call it 2.md.
Yes.
And then I'm going to cheat a little bit and copy those must-have fields. Recipe, the carrot soup 2. Ingredients, carrots and water. For the instructions, I will just boil it. not a great recipe, but don't judge me for the recipe. Just focus on the Git part of it. I'll go and see the review. So it looks good.
Yeah.
Then I should commit that. When I committing it, it'll commit to this soup2 branch. New soup. So it's if you include some details for the person who's reviewing, it'll be helpful. You could write some detail about it. Here I'm writing create a carrot soup. I would say a simple alternative and commit to this branch. Again, that message of not redirected properly. Then in the fourth question, I was asked to modify. Was it, Iman? Oh, the same file, was it?
Yes, you have to modify the same file.
Yeah, same file. I should modify
and
that.
commit.
So I would open this file and I will click this edit button. Do you see the edit pencil here?
Yeah, maybe could you zoom a bit?
Yeah, moving. Yeah, okay. So I'll go back.
Yeah, it's good.
And then I'll click on the file that I want to edit. Then I will say there's a pencil button somewhere. I have to zoom out a little bit because I don't see the pencil.
Yeah.
Here.
I think it should be.
Yeah. And then I would say maybe salt. And then I would again click this button, commit changes. And here I would say included salt, updated with salt, and then commit that. So in that branch, I would see that this is salt is also added. Yeah. Then I was asked to browse the network. So what I'll do is
I think you have to go to the main.
Okay, main branch. Okay.
Yeah, and modify one file there.
Modify one file. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So then I will go back to the main branch here by clicking on the main. And that was actually a very good thing happened. I'll do that again to show you. I'm going to soups. And I'm going to change back to that soup2 branch. And I'm going to click this carrot soup. And I'm going to change to the main branch here. Now it's going to throw an error. See whether you can see that error. It says page not found, which means that file is not there in the main branch, right? So that was the reason. So then I'll go to the main, the root folder of that repository. And then I will go to sites. I will go to the guacamole recipe and then edit this. And I will add maybe make 2 tablespoons of salt. And then press commit changes. Right, I added a message for log message, and then I clicked on the. Do you see my where my mouse pointer is, Simon, or is it not clear that much?
Yeah, but yes, now I can see that.
I see the commit. Again, my browser is not redirecting properly. That's fine. So now it's 2 tablespoons. So next one is the network, right?
Yes, next one is the network.
Then I will go to insights. So if your browser is little more zoomed out, then you will see the button. But here you see something a menu entry called Insight. Go to Insight and click on network. Then you see some as many of you experience, it sometimes take time to render this. So when I copied from the upstream, I copied all the branches. So if I had copied only the main branch, then I would not see. But these are all the changes that were done in the past in that repository. So I see all the changes. So I see this my change here. The
We have to rotate our
inside this.
head. Yeah.
What was that?
We have to rotate our head.
Yes.
to see.
So let me check where my branch is. So this is here. You see if it
Yeah.
came from the main branch,
Uh-huh.
the way here.
Yeah.
And then I have done some changes. And then the main branch itself has moved. So
But
this
is this the
showed,
latest one?
this is not the latest one.
Because
This
you
is
have
the
two
one.
accounts, I think, Sabri.
Yes, yes. So this was the earlier one, and this is
Yeah.
now integrated. The one I did now is this one.
Yeah.
So this is the main branch that has moved forward, and this is the branch I created, create current soup branch, and it's not joined yet. So the main branch has something, the correct the suggestion branch has something, but because of this is now little like too many things are there.
Yeah.
Might be little complicated, but the thing you should notice is that there are two commits, these two dots, which are not in the main branch. And there is this dot, the main branch, which is not in the blue branch.
Yeah.
So in the next part of the lesson that Heman would show you how to combine this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then what they're asking, switch to the main branch and modify the recipe. Are we in the fifth question now?
Now we are in the 7th, because now we compared compare the branch that you created. Okay. Yeah.
With the main branch. So that comparison we did that visually, but there's a better way to do that. Like we could use this URL to compare it. Here we use the, if you so this is a little tricky. So if you see my URL, maybe Yarno, could you reduce the video a little bit so the URL will be visible? Maybe even off the video for a while. Oh yes.
Yeah.
So in the top URL, yeah, in the top URL, you go to the recipe, that repository, and then I will post this in the shared document, and type compare. The word compare. If you type compare, it opens up a way to compare things, the repositories. What's difference? For example, with the main and the main I have, so the top the repository is the upstream, and the main I have, there's one change that I change salt. But what we want to do now is to check the change between my repository main and with the soup2 repository. So is this expected change, Heman, or not?
You are still in your repository, right? In the main repository of your, yeah.
Yes. So I'm comparing with the main branch of my repository, my copy, with the soup2 branch of my copy. So these are the two changes I did. So it clearly shows that I have added a file compared to the main branch. But it did not show that I changed salt.
Yeah.
If you remember that I also changed salt. So in order to do that, you have to perform this comparison other way around. So you have to select soup2 here, and then main here. In that comparison, it will show that there's a difference of salt here. The green is added, red is removed. So you have to make sure the direction, the direction of comparison to see the changes. So there's a change. There are some commits that are not in the main branch, but in the soup2 branch that I could see in one way. And there are changes in the main branch, which are not in the soup2 branch, that also you could see, but you have to make sure you select the correct direction here. Also commits, you could compare in this way with this URL. So the way to compare is that, let's say we want to, I will go to this repository, the base of that repository, and I will go to the soups folder here, and I will change back to the soup2 branch. So then I'll see my correct soup. So this is the place where we did the changes. So I will the file and the change. Then I will go here, and then I will click on blame. So this showed that, I created this file, who created the file, and then the change I did by adding salt in this case. Now I want to find out the commit hashes of this. Do you know how to? I think you showed in your lesson how to find the commit hashes. Do you remember? Can you remind me again, Heman? Was it history?
Yes, you can.
Yes. So here we want to compare between these two versions. So I want to see the difference between these two versions. So what I will do is I will copy this hash, but it will copy the entire big, like the long string, but I only need the 7 strings in the beginning. Again, I need to go here, recipe book, recorded, and I have to remove all this. And I typed compare. So this, what I'm typing is given in the answer. So I'm relying on that text to be, for you to reference. And then for this, I don't need the whole hash. I only need about 7, 8. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yes.
8. Okay. Then you need 2
you
dots.
can also remove 0.
Okay. 2 dots. So even if you have the 0, it doesn't matter, but you need minimum of 7. And I copy this hash and I paste it. I'll just paste it as it is. I hope, let me check whether you can see that properly.
Yeah,
But can you
it's
see
until
that, Heman,
3.
in the?
Yeah, I can see that on the screen.
Yeah, so I'll copy this here as well. And the text here is that I'll go back to the our tutor, our lesson material. I can show you again. Then I press enter. Then it will go and find out the difference between those two hashes, or those two commits, were that one had salt and one did not have salt. So I'll go back to that the lesson, and I'll show you where it's written. I'm scrolling down, browse commits, and then compare branches. So here you will see that command. So if you didn't see that on the URL, especially on Twitch, it might be a little blurred. The way you should type the URL is here, and also comparing arbitrary commits. The way I did was the repository's name, I typed compare in the front, and the hashes that I copied. You could use the cache as it is, the hash as it is, or you minimum 7 needed to get that answer. Then there is renaming a branch. So let's see, if I go back here, I want to rename this branch that I created. For that, there are several ways to do this in the GitHub interface. So the first thing is you need to find the branch. You could go and click on your recipe to go to the home page of this, the base of the repository. Then you could click this branches here. Near main, you have this tab for branches. So then you will see all the branches. That's the easiest way for me to find out. Is there any other way to find the branch, Heman?
I think if you go again the same place, I mean, you can also look at view all branches, but if you click on the main, I think there is one last icon which
view all branches.
Yeah, this is other way, but the one you showed is much better in terms of one click, right?
Yeah, so you have to come to this place, and let's say if you want to rename this branch, I have to little bit get some space here because I can't see all the buttons. You have to go here, click on this 3 dots, and then rename the branch, and you could say soup3, for example. And now it is called soup3. You might don't see it immediately, you don't see it here, but you could refresh the page and you see that it's soup3. So that is how you rename the branch. And tag also you could create. So the tag is like when you're publishing a paper, for example, you could attach, this is the version I published a paper. Or if you are releasing a code base, you could say, release 1, release 2, that kind of things. For that, also you could go to the front page of your repository. And here there is this sticky note kind of thing, tag. Then you could click that. And then I have one tag here already created. You could create a tag by using releases. And then create a new release. I'll call it release 1. Tag, I would say beta 01. Usually it'll be something like a version 1, for example. Version B1. It's a tag, and then the version used in the publication, for example.
And you are releasing the main one?
Yes, so I'm going to release the main branch. Then you publish it. So when that is done, you will see that if I go to the front page of this, if I click on tags, I'll see that one I created as well. So before we go for a break, I could show some discussions here as well. As part, so this, you could have the branches. If only you are working, you could also commit to the main branch if you wish. You could commit to branches if there are multiple lines of work at once, and you could want them to interfere with each other. I mean, so to be honest, we don't work with code this way. We don't work on the browser this way. Either we use the terminal or we use the like a integrated development environment. So in those environment, we collect relevant changes together when we make a commit. So without like you don't just collect some random files and make a commit. So it's like a collection of files. And then if you don't want to some file to be like in the Git, for example, maybe there's some password file, or maybe if you're working with cloud, there might be some like a key that you are using for testing, so that you don't want to send it to the GitHub. Then there is this git ignore that would be useful. So everything that is included in the git ignore would not end up in the GitHub. So that's the end of that exercise. And let me check the notes. Did I miss anything here, Himad? What does it mean for one of the commits? Okay. So that is like the tag referred to a commit. So when I said the main branch and created a tag, it created the tag on the latest commit. Where did Sabri find the must-have content for the new file? Could my file lacking this content mean? Okay, so the must-have content is there on the document. So if you see this answers, I think answer yeah, under number 2, you'll find this must-have content. You could also try misspelling this and see what happens. And then the next one is when trying to make a tag and associated it with the commit. this may be due to that you're in a different branch. So the latest commit might be in a branch. You have to make sure that you're in a branch. If you, when you try to tag it, if you don't see a commit, most likely scenario would, one scenario would be that you might be in a different branch. Okay, so these things we will talk about a little bit this in the collaborative version as part as well. But I would think that now we go for a break, Hemant, and when we come back, we'll discuss more and we will see how to integrate this. So then we can answer those questions. The somebody has used the term push here, but first we need to merge this content to the main branch. So now we break Yarno for 10 minutes and we'll come back, and then when we come back, Heman would continue the merging part. And bye for now. Heman, I could hear you. No, Yarno, can you hear him?
Hey, I can hear you, Sabri.
Can you hear
I
Heman?
I guess not. Okay.
I think it's a network issue, maybe.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay, fine. Good. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back from the break. So yeah, this is the last session today, which is about merging. Okay, so let me increase the screen, maybe. Till now, what we saw is we did this. We started with looking at the existing repository, and then we forked the repository, which is we took a copy of it, and then we started editing it. Now you try to add some new features, and now you want to push it back to the main repository. So that is what you're going to do now. So basically, yeah. And just a quick remark, basically, when you are doing this merging changes, so you satisfied with whatever the fixes you made or what are the features you want to add. Now you want to propose the changes. Okay, so that is what you are here. Okay, in your branch where you just forked and added your new features, and now you ask for a pull request, which means that we are asking for okay, we have these changes, and just include these changes in the main branch. Okay. For this tutorial, we will stick with your own branch, okay, with your own repository. Please don't push any changes to the upstream recipe book, okay. So there are 3 different ways of doing this, but today we will focus on the GitHub path. And maybe in the coming days, you will learn the other ways. If you are happy with the VS Code or command line, you will come across in the next few days. Okay. So here is the exercise, and what you're going to do is let's start with this branch. So this is the branch. Currently, what you are looking is
I'm losing a sound, Heman. No, I couldn't hear you.
Guess we have.
If you haven't created a new recipe, try to create the new recipe, and then you now try to do the pull request. And to do the pull request, what you do is you go to the main branch, to the code, and then here you can see the contribute, and then you can look for the open pull request. So that's this is the exercise you are now you will be doing now. So we have say maybe Sabri, how many minutes? I think we are running out of time. say 10 minutes so that we have yeah, say 10:50. Yeah, I can't hear you, Sabri. You are
Yeah,
muted.
so yeah, so this exercise, Hemant, you have to walk through because of
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can do it as homework. You could walk through
Yeah, so
what you've
then I
got.
will walk through this exercise. Okay, basically, what you see here is like I created a new recipe here. Okay, so when you click on the new recipe, what you next do is like click on this contribute button. When you click on this contribute button, you can then request for the open pull request. So if you click on this green button, which is open pull request, then it will ask you to fill a few things. As Sabri mentioned before, so basically we need to choose where to push. So here it will be your branch. Okay, so that is like it is my name and my recipe book. And then here it should be your new recipe. And then you can add some comments here, add uh, push the new recipe, and you can add some description if you want, and then create pull request. So once you create the pull request, it starts checking, and if there are no conflicts, then you can basically just do the merging part. Okay. And here you can also just write uh, merge new recipe. Okay. And then just do a confirm. And once you merge the pull request, if you want, you can delete the branch, okay, or else you can leave it. It's up to you. And let me go quickly to the code and see what are the branches created. Okay, so you can again go to the code and look into these branches using this fork button, and then here you can see. Okay, yeah, this main
So
one.
one thing is, Hemant, even if you decide to delete the branch, the commits in that branch will remain. It's just
Yeah,
that pointer for that branch disappeared.
Mhm.
All the commits would remain if it is merged.
Okay. So yeah, what is next, Sabri? Is there
Yeah, so
anything in
what we
the?
do is while we wait a little bit, we have about, I mean, like 5 minutes, we can stay and see whether we can ask the learners to try it out, the merging. Not necessarily go out for exercise, but we can see while you browse, ask them to merge and ask questions if they have,
Yeah.
or if they feel any face any difficulty.
Sorry, I lost you for a while.
Okay. Yeah, so I would recommend that maybe the learners, the participants could also try to merge and see whether
Yeah.
they face any issues. If they face an
Mhm.
issue, then maybe you can show how to solve it on the screen.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So
So
then,
someone is asking what is the history behind a pull request? Why not merge request instead of, because of direction seems makes sense. So this pull request, merge request, there's actually platform. So those are not like fundamentally Git stuff. For example, it's named differently in GitLab, for example. So GitHub, GitLab, they use different terms sometimes, but what it means is to integrate with the main line of work.
yeah.
So if you see a conflict, that also like if you Hemant, could you show that that picture with that sunglass and hats?
Okay, and that is in the browsing, right?
Yes, the
Oh,
first
sorry,
few
motivation.
lessons, maybe one before. Yeah, here. So here, if instead of the sunglass, if you are trying a red hat and a black hat, then when you are combining it, Git might not know automatically how to combine it. So then then a human is needed to decide. Here, because it's a sunglass and a hat, it just combines. So if it is this, for example, if two people modify the same line of code, then Git want to know which one to keep, because if it takes one and discard the other, there's a loss of information. So as long as there's no loss of information, it will do automatically. But as soon as there's a possibility of losing information, it will ask the intervention of a human. So that we call a conflict. So the conflict, there's a kind of a demo here as well. At the end, I think, let me check in the merging part. If you go further down,
Yeah,
it's all in
conflict
conflict in the document that you are showing. So yeah, so in the as an example, there's one example in the same lesson that you are showing before in the merging changes and contributing to the project lesson.
Yeah. So okay, let's go there then.
So at the end, there's a simple example for showing demonstrating a conflict. Resolving conflicts and demonstration. Like it's a demonstration, but I don't think we have time for that demonstration. But I think we will talk about it later on as well in the lessons when we, especially when we entertain pull requests from different users. So a conflict is mainly when Git want to combine two things from two different, like combine two different branches, and the file that it's trying to combine has been modified on the same line that by two different people. So it's to avoid loss of information.
Okay, now let's go for the day 2, like the preparation for the day 2.
Okay.
I think, yeah, since we are have last 10 minutes.
Yeah, should I share my screen in that case?
I think if you want, you can just.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm sharing my screen now. We can show my one.
Sorry, it's not. It will not show up correctly if. Okay, so now there's only one person sharing, and I can set it here. Oh, here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it's showing
Yeah.
correctly. All right.
Yeah. So while I'm talking that, Arno and Heman, that it's also important that give us some feedback about how the day was. So please do that as well. And then I'll give you some details about the next lesson. Tomorrow we'll be doing more realistic stuff. So today we worked on the browser. This is not necessarily the way we work, because when you have code, you have to work on the terminal or on a integrated development environment, like VS Code, or so there are so many environments. For this, you need to do certain things by tomorrow. First thing is that to create a GitHub account that you have already done, and then you have to configure the Git a little bit. You have to inform Git your name and information like that. Let me go down here and point you to where that information is. Configuring Git command line editor. So now I'm going to pull up a terminal. Like today, the first time I'm going to pull this up. And then I'm going to show you, the way it should be configured. So in the Git terminal, so you see my terminal now. Maybe I make the font a little bit bigger and maybe make it a little lighter, even lighter maybe. Yes. The first thing you need is Git. So you should, when you type Git version, it should print something. So I have 241. So any version that close by should be okay. The other thing you need is when you type SSH version, that should print something, but that's not how you type the version. You have to type a capital V here. It should print something, not like command not found. Then the next command is to see whether you can connect to GitHub. github.com. So the first one is to check the version of Git. Second one is to SSH. When you have SSH, normally you have it on Windows, you have it in the PowerShell, and even in the terminal you have it. And then what you do is with a capital T to see whether you can connect to github.com. The first time when you issue that command, it will tell you that you are going to connect to something that you have never connected before. Do you trust that? So if you had typed the command, the address correctly, github.com, then you should trust that. And you could also cross-check this hash with GitHub if you want. Then it says permission denied. So this is the most likely case that you will get if you have not used Git before. If I had used, because I have been using Git and I have configured it, if I use it on my laptop, github.com, sorry, not Git, SSH, it would return that, okay, still public key is not accepted. So when you get this message, the thing you should do is mentioned here. You have to go and set up a SSH key pair. So what this basically do is that there's some credentials in your computer that you create some credentials, we call the certificate, and you place that in GitHub. And whenever you reach GitHub, GitHub knows that it is you. So let me try with this command again with the git as username, because it went with my username, github.com. Ask my key to unlock. Then if you had configured it, you had to be you'll get this message as successful. I'll do it again in my virtual machine, which is not configured, to get the correct message. What's this? Then it should say public key. It says denied. So by tomorrow, you should be able to issue this command and be able to get a successful authentication. How to do that is explained here. So installation instructions, how to create a key, and what that is, what this means. I hope that you could do this today and make sure that you are ready for tomorrow's workshop. Did that explain, Heman, or should I explain it a little bit more?
No, that is good. Actually, there will be, I'm just looking at the notebook. Basically, there is an installation help available on Zoom 1 hour before for Oslo. So basically, more details will be followed, and you will receive an email regarding this.
Good. So will the learners will get an email about this? I guess, yeah, we'll try to
we will try to.
Yes. So basically what you try to do is to follow the instructions here. So when you issue this command, SSH -T GitHub, git@github.com, it should get you into a place where it says it was successful.
Yeah. Shall we take the notebook then, the final questions?
Yes. So we'll go for the final questions. Can you comment on your GitHub desktop versus VS Code command? Yeah. So, I mean, if you can go for the command line, VS Code or the terminal or any other command line, you get more transparent outputs when you do Git, and you can do more steps. For example, when you want to make a commit, you could commit like git add to collect all the relevant commits into one place, and then git push, git commit. But in the GitHub interface, most things are not that transparent. So the close commit, so this is, I mean, the when you have merge request, and then when you say close the merge request without merging, which means that the changes in that branch would not be merged, which not be integrated. It will remain in the branch, but if that branch is deleted, then that commit, that change is disappeared, that gone forever. But after it merged without closing, if you delete it, it will not go away.
Okay.
Yeah, so this conflict, we didn't go through too much today about the conflict because of the complexity of, like, we wanted to make it very least complex today. But that is some natural thing that you'll encounter if two people modify the same line of a file, for example, or you modify the same line of a file in different branches. Git would ask your help to select what to keep. Yeah. Anything else, Jarno, that you need to mention before we close?
Yeah, should we move to the close, basically? So yeah, it's a couple of things in the end of the notes. The most important thing is the feedback section. So yeah, please do give us feedback for how this day went. There's some standard questions we always ask. If it was too fast, too slow, just right, and we'll try to adjust. And well, let's take a look at those in a moment. But first, news. So if you scroll a little bit up, there's an info section, a blue box with news on it. A little bit up. I could, of course, also move to the notes that I have on the broadcaster computer, but okay. So yeah, there were basics of Git today. We covered GitHub, mostly using GitHub user interface. Tomorrow we'll move to your local computer. So if today was either like too much GitHub or too abstract or too easy, don't worry. Tomorrow you'll do more work on your own computer. But it should not be that much more complicated. So we're kind of doing these steps also to prepare so that a lot of the concepts are familiar tomorrow. But yeah, so tomorrow we'll move on more working on your own computer. And that also does mean either the terminal or VS Code or similar. So if you haven't already, please check the installation instructions. Okay, so it really should be exciting tomorrow because it will then like directly apply to your current work, to your coding and paper writing and so on your own computer. Okay, if you have issues, yeah, well, we already mentioned the support Zoom for installation help. Another good thing to know is that Twitch will store this video for 7 days, so you can come back and take a look at well, any part that you felt like it went too fast, anything that was complicated. You can try to do the exercises again when maybe GitHub has less load and some of the other issues might be resolved. And yeah, then it will be on YouTube. So all of our old workshops, these online workshops that are streamed, they will also be, or they are already also on YouTube. So you can go see the same things or similar things explained by different people in different ways. So hopefully that's helpful. And then, yeah, so I mentioned tomorrow we'll move to your own computer, and on day 3, then we'll move more to collaborating with people. So sharing the code and working on the same project. And also we'll see more conflicts and resolve conflicts. So that should be interesting. Okay, should we take a look at the feedback a bit more? There are a lot of votes on write speed, a few votes on too slow, too fast sometimes, which means essentially we need to pay attention, right? But at least it's an average good. Some on write level, some on too basic. tomorrow will be a bit more advanced. So if you're starting with already knowing some Git, then maybe today was not that much new stuff, but tomorrow should be more. But yeah, people are saying they will use what they learned today, which is really good to hear, and that they would recommend for others. So that's nice. So let's see what specific, what catches your eye, Saprio, Heman. Somebody accidentally asked to merge their branch with mine, so I think I made a new friend. That's nice to hear.
Yes.
And yeah, the collaborative document, we always like that. Okay, somebody's calling the stream professional, which is nice for me to hear because I made a lot of mistakes on the way, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah, the font size was small for some period of time, and we didn't communicate either clearly enough or loudly enough when it happened. So yeah, next time I guess I'll escalate to speaking up and see. So because it is like you concentrate when I know when I've been the instructor, you focus on what you're doing and then you don't look at the chat and so on. So it was essentially on me. I should have spoken up more quickly. But yeah, so that's important feedback. Okay.
I think it's we're done for the day, and thank you all the assistant from our colleagues to answer all the questions. It was very well answered as well. Then thank you, Heman, and thank you, Jarno, Richard, and everybody else, and also the helpers. And we'll see you tomorrow. Then hope you'll come back tomorrow to learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow will be really more, even more hands-on. It will look more familiar compared to what your normal, at least coding workflow is. So it should be exciting.
Yeah. Thank you all. Yeah.
But I do write more feedback in that we will read everything you write there. This is not the end of the workshop, and in any case, we're interested to know what you have to say. So please continue writing in the feedback.
Okay then. Bye bye.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Bye.
So see you tomorrow, everyone.